talking about something that has been on my mind a bit and something I wanted to share with you. I really was just feeling like I wanted to connect with you all. I felt like it's been a little while since I made a very open, honest, raw video, and I kind of wanted to share the reasons behind that. I, of course, think of all of you as like my close friends. I feel like I've shared so much in my life over the years, so many good and bad times, and I felt like this was something that I just wanted to talk a little bit about. So I recently received a comment saying that I looked really happy, and it was from someone that said they had watched me for a while and they could just tell the genuine happiness that I was exuding and that they were really glad to see that. And I think it's so interesting to be able to tell what you guys can pick up on. I know, over the years, many of you have been with me for a long time, and you guys definitely have kind of come on this journey with me through so many ups and downs, just, naturally in life. And I will say that, yeah, for a little while, I was going through a pretty difficult time. I was just very unhappy, and I was really kind of searching for the reasons behind that and what I could do to fix that. And I wanted to kind of open up about it and talk about it because I hope that I could help someone with this, because I think it's so normal, but just not enough people really express it. And I know that I have friends that I used to look at and think, oh my gosh, they have the perfect body, the perfect boyfriend, the perfect job, whatever it would have been. And I would just think, they obviously have nothing that they are upset about, and their life just must be perfect. If I could just switch places with them, like everything would be amazing. And it's been really eye-opening and interesting to me to really have been opening up to special people in my life and just really understanding that everyone goes through these feelings of feeling confused and just unhappy and just kind of feeling unfulfilled in life. And I wanted to kind of talk through what I've learned from this and how I've actually come on top out of it. Because right now I can honestly say I am literally like the happiest I've been in probably my entire life, which is kind of like dramatic sounding, and I don't want to like get emotional about it, but it's really crazy to think back on different moments where I was really unhappy and where I was really confused and lost, and I just didn't understand, why things weren't working out for me, or why something bad happened to me, or why someone treated me horribly. And kind of having it all wrap up a little bit and kind of coming to the place that I'm at, I'm really grateful. But more than anything, I just want to make sure that I can allow other people to have that chance as well, because I know that it can be very hard when you're going through something, and it can be really hard to kind of figure out why that is. So first of all, just assessing, just feeling unhappy and feeling unfulfilled in life. Again, I think it's totally normal. I think it's something everyone deals with, but we all deal with it differently. I'm someone who I love to talk about my feelings and my emotions, but when something is negative and going on with me, I oftentimes shut down, and I think that is something really bad. You definitely need to reach out to people, reach out to your friends, your family, people in your life that are close to you, or even reach out to someone maybe that you don't know very well. I message you guys back and forth on Instagram and on Twitter and on Facebook as well, and even here in the comments, and I think it's because sometimes explaining a thought or a situation to someone else, maybe if they're a little bit removed from you, is almost easier. I know I've had experiences with that where you almost can be more open with someone you don't intensely know, and I think there's a bit of kind of like a no judgment on that, because they don't necessarily know the ins and outs of your life and they aren't around you all the time, that seeking advice from people that are a bit removed from your situation can be so valuable. But so talking about what has been working for me and the steps that I've taken, the first one will be working on myself, which I know is super cheesy. I'm sure you guys have heard so many times, like focus on yourself, invest in yourself, blah, blah, blah. And it is, it's something that's so overdone and said, but I feel like not enough people really do it. For me, I can make a video kind of completely on this topic, but I've always struggled just with my appearance, the way that I look. I've always been pretty critical of myself, and also just, I've had issues with my weight fluctuating for sure. It's been something that's bothered me my entire life. My two sisters are very thin naturally, and I've always been a bit curvier. And when I went on birth control a few years ago, I noticed that I did gain some weight, and it was really frustrating for me because at the time I wasn't changing anything I was eating or exercising. I was just gaining weight, and I couldn't understand why. And I don't want to attribute it completely to birth control, but I will say since switching my birth control, I actually have lost a significant amount of weight without doing anything. Like I just kept all my habits the same and I dropped some weight. And on me, I'm 5'5", so I'm fairly short, so I think it really does show when I gain and lose weight. And really focusing on working out, eating healthy has made such a huge improvement in just the way I feel, that I am such a firm believer in if you are happy with the way that you look, it really does come into play with your happiness mentally and overall. And I don't think that, appearances are the most important thing in life at all, but I do think you being satisfied with yourself and looking in the mirror and liking what you see is so important, that if you are unhappy with anything physically, I really urge you to take control of that. Like, you have this life, you should be happy and you should be proud of who you are. And I think back on many months where I was just uncomfortable in my skin. I didn't want to go out and do things. I just didn't like the way I looked in clothes. I would change my outfit 100 times. And I just think back to it, and at the time, I didn't know what was going on or what was happening, but I can now really look back and see that that was something that was really affecting me mentally and making me very unhappy. Another big thing that I've been focusing on is investing in people that invest in me. Now, this is something that I've talked about a bit before, but I, again, used to be someone who I would want to change and fix people, and it would honestly kind of, flip this little switch in my brain when someone would maybe act badly towards me, or they would be kind of closed off and shut off emotionally. I would almost take that as like a challenge in my mind to try to break through to them, to try to get to know them, to dig deeper. And I realized that doing that is so mentally exhausting. It really is. You cannot change people and you cannot open people up. And there's a quote that I love that I read, and it said, "You can only meet people as deeply as they have met themselves." And this is so true. There have been many people in my life that have been friends or romantic interests that I have just decided, the investment that I was making with my time wasn't being rewarded and wasn't making me feel good, and it was honestly draining me. And I'm all for wanting to be there for people and supporting people, but I really have to stress that if you have people in your life that you feel like you are making such an effort to be there for them, be good to them, and you don't feel it in return, honestly, as hard as it is, you need to distance yourself from them. And I think that will really show you, if they care and if they notice, they will come to you and they will reach out to you. But if they don't, I think you're going to realize just how much of a weight has been lifted off of you by investing in the people that invest in you. And it honestly will break your heart a bit to open your eyes and really think about those people that do ask how you're doing, that ask about your day, that want to know what's going on in your life. And when I started doing this, I honestly could cry because I was so upset over the people that I felt that I had neglected, the people that were always, trying and pushing to, be there for me and get to know me and really care about me on a personal level, because I was so wrapped up in trying to prove myself and prove my worth and, make someone else that wasn't open understand and open. And it was just exhausting, and I've stopped doing that, and I'm so much happier because of it. The next big thing that I really think that has really changed my outlook has just been to really be grateful for the good days. I'm someone that I would dwell on negative things, and every day that I have a good day, when something is really amazing or when there's a moment going on that I just am so extremely happy, I will literally take a second to sit there and think and just run it through my head. This is a good moment. This is life, and this is so fulfilling and thrilling and exciting. And it sounds really silly and stupid, but honestly, if you take the time to really, really, just take those moments to acknowledge how happy and good your life is at certain points, you will look back on it and it adds up. And I used to do that in a negative way. I would take notice of what was going wrong, how unhappy I was, how sad I was, how irritated, and now I've flipped it. And it's insane to see just the positive outlook and the positive mindset, how much that really does change your whole outlook on life and how much better it actually makes you physically feel. I used to be someone who did not really believe in all that kind of stuff, but ever since kind of pulling it into my life, I cannot believe how much of a difference it has made. Another thing that I've been doing a lot lately has been pushing myself. I've been pushing myself in honestly every single aspect of my life, physically, mentally, emotionally, definitely socially. I have mentioned before that I'm pretty shy. I'm also pretty cautious and careful with people, but recently I've been doing things that I never thought I would have enjoyed. I've been meeting people that I never really thought I would have gotten along with, and it's just blown my mind. For example, I've been going to music festivals and things that before would kind of stress me out and freak me out, and things that I honestly didn't think I was cut out for, didn't think I would like. And I have to say, the past few events I've gone to have literally been the most fun I have ever had. And it's so crazy to think that I'm the type of person that if I didn't push myself to do that, I never would have known and I never would have done it. I'm just not the type of person to just really, really push myself. And having that I've done that and being able to kind of gain the knowledge of realizing how happy that has made me is so valuable to me, as well as with, meeting new people and really trying to strive for that. I have an amazing, really great core group of friends, but I keep my really close circle small and I really focus in on my friends and I really invest a lot in them. But recently I've been meeting a lot of people and I've really just been kind of putting myself out there. And, I used to struggle and worry about people liking me or worry about fitting in, or I don't know, just being accepted by people. And it's been insane to have met girls recently and just so instantly click with them, to connect with them, and to really realize that there are good, nice people out there. You just have to be open to it. I mentioned that I was in Toronto and I actually had the ability to meet some of you guys that had messaged me through Instagram. I still want to go back and meet a ton of you as well, but just this recent trip I did, and I connected with so many girls that I literally felt like I have known for so long, even though I just met them. Thinking back a few years ago, that would have kind of terrified me, just worrying if they would accept me or if they would like me as much in person or if I would be fun enough. And I don't know, I think that anxiety and those feelings are so natural, and for some reason that actually experiencing it just has totally changed my mindset on everything, and I'm so grateful for it. Because I'm just so happy, and I'm not even gonna get emotional, but I can't believe that there were points that I was so unhappy and so confused and lost, and I feel for anyone that's going through that right now, and I just want you to know that I'm here for you and that I would, love to help you through it, but ultimately you have all the tools and you have the power to make your life the way that you want it to be, and if you focus on it, it's incredible to see the things that you can accomplish. I also really heavily believe in just finding something that you're passionate about and that excites you. Like I said, when I was going through a rough time, I would just wake up in the morning and just dread getting up. And now I honestly get up every morning and I go to bed at night and I cannot wait to wake up so that I can work on things. And I've just really been being creative and working on my store and, doing all these artistic fun things. And it just really has transformed my whole outlook on life. And I just could not be more happy about that. And the last thing that I've really been focusing on, and I think one of the biggest things that has really transformed my life as of lately, has been to not take other people's actions personally. Again, I'm someone who's very compassionate and caring, but I'm sensitive to a fault. And I used to take the way that people would treat me or things that they would do so personally. I used to think it was like a personal attack on me, or it was a direct reflection of how they felt about me, or a direct reflection of how little they cared for me. And it ranged from things with friends to things with romantic interests. And I've recently gotten to a point of, seeing negative things that people do and kind of examining them in a way of, a lot of the time when someone treats you poorly or someone does something bad to you, it has way more to do with them than it does with you. And I'm sure you guys have heard that as well, but people that are hurt other people. And I have seen this firsthand, and I understand it. If you are a happy, secure, loving person, you aren't going out of your way to hurt, lie, manipulate. You're not doing that to people. So anyone that is doing that, you just have to realize that they have other stuff going on within themselves, and it's not a reflection on a lack of a person that you are. It honestly speaks volumes to who they are. On that same regard, I've also been super forgiving lately. I used to be someone that someone would do me wrong and I would hold on to that. I would keep that in my mind and I wouldn't forget it. And recently I have been just opening my heart and forgiving people. For the better and for the worse, I'm aware, and I don't allow myself to be, taken advantage of or to be, played a fool. but I forgive people for mistakes that they've made because it makes me feel better. So like I said, I think you should definitely learn from every situation, but also really realize that other people's actions, they don't necessarily have to do with you. And that was a hard truth for me to understand. But now that I do, it's just really transformed my life. So like I said, whenever I talk about this kind of stuff, I feel so excited and relieved and just connected with you all. So I will be on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And of course, I read all my comments on all my social media. So again, I just wanted to share that anything kind that you guys say to me, honestly, makes me feel so happy, and it's never lost on me. It's incredibly humbling, and there are days where I don't feel like I deserve it, but I want you guys to just know that I care about you, and I want you all to be as happy as you possibly can be. I hope that this kind of made you connect with me a bit. So I will talk to you guys soon. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Bye.